Alright, bro, what's going on, y'all? Like I said, I'm trying to be more consistent on the channel. And I just want to go ahead and do this video because it was definitely suggested to me by a friend that I don't know if he want to create content, but I did. If I can shout him out anyway, he know I would. Like, any social media he gives me, I'm definitely gonna put it in the description, okay? But yeah, he gave me this idea because he saw a Gilbert Arenas video, right? And it was talking about how certain letters could like translate in today's game, and certain letters probably cannot translate into today's game as well. So, me like being like the talker I am of basketball, shoot, why not? Really, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the first person I'm going to be talking about is Bill Russell. Now, Bill Russell, we all know him as the playmaking and defensive force he is with the Boston Celtics. Like I said in my video about the black athletes that went through the NBA, like I said, he was the pioneer of this game. Pioneer. Like he can like what Draymond is today in today's game. That's why I can see like where Bill Russell can fit right in. Like that's literally the archetype of those Draymond type players, right? It's just the thing is, his offensive game was just like not good, and I don't want to disrespect him in no way, shape, or form, but dog, he didn't have a good jump shot, right? He didn't need one to be effective because he was like mostly a playmaker, right? Now we've seen guys like this, like Draymond before this year. We've seen Jared Vanderbilt, like guys that didn't have offensive game, but was defensive specialists. Andre Roberson, we throw him in there too. But the thing is, that's the thing. Like I rate him 9 on my list, right? I feel like if he's in today's game, I feel like that can go down. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to win accolades. I'm just saying how it's going to be viewed. And we can be honest with ourselves. Like, folks would not, like, view, like, Bill Russell as, like, a top 10 player if he played in today's game. And that's just the way it is because of social media, how, like, overinflated stats is in today's game. How we're too like in tune with basketball nowadays, and it just is what it is. That's why folks feel like everything's like watered down, and actually certain aspects of it is kind of watered down in the first place. The next person I had on my list was KG. Now, we all know KG. He's one of the most switchable players in the NBA of all time. I mean, he played point guard at one point when Sam Cassell went down the 04 playoffs. Like I said, he can guard 1 through 5. He's one of the best rim protectors. He had a motor that is like it's only matched by a few. Like KG would give you his all almost every play. Now that actually cost him down the stretch of game because him going like hard like every quarter. He ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. Like, we all human. We're going to run out of gas at some point. We can't, like, just go full steam ahead because I think around this time, he was playing, like, 40 minutes, right? Those were, like, too many minutes. But folks could get away with that in the 2000s since the pace was much slower. But the thing is with KG, though, he also had a good mid-range jumper. He had a good post game. Like, he can operate on the offensive end, and he can also operate in the defensive end. So this is why I would rate him higher if he would play in today's game. So we're gonna go to the next legend. That's Charles Barkley. Now, what I don't get is why folks be trying to discredit Charles Barkley, the player. Now, what he be saying about like KD and stuff, I disagree with, right? I disagree. But when folks be trying to say Charles Barkley probably wouldn't like translate well in today's game, just didn't know about Charles Barkley game at all. Because Charles Barkley, if he would win like more accolades and stuff like that, shoot, even in a championship, he would be very high on my list. Because on my list, I had KG 13, right? I feel he could go up. Charles Barkley, on the other hand, I had him at 18. So I feel he can go up from there because, listen, Charles Barkley, he has the skill set to play the 4. Now, he did take a lot of jump shots that was very unnecessary, but he still had a good skill set to like dominate on the offensive end. And then defense would probably be more trouble. I can understand the concern there, but dog, having Charles Barkley as your 4 and as a small ball 5, which he's most likely going to play, that would be like a scary, scary sight to see. Because And like later on in his career, he became a better playmaker. He was leading the breaks even during his time, right? Yeah, and like I said, he was a great rebounder. So this is not a case of like Zion Williamson or some of him. You have to worry about him playing the five. No, Charles Barkley could like get physical down there when necessary. So another legend I'm going to talk about is Jerry West. Now, Jerry West, he's an interesting one. I've seen a couple highlights. I've seen a couple games even. You could see why he was dominating his era. Jerry West, I feel like he would be a slept-on like shooting guard. Like I feel like he would like average a cool 22 points if he played in today's game, and that's just treading lightly, right? I feel he can he was averaging 30 in the 70s with no 3-point line, so 22 would be a breeze for him. I feel he could definitely get up to like 28 a game on his career average if he played in today's game. I just like the way how he like pulled up and stuff. Now imagine that he extended that range from the mid range where he was shooting at to the 3-point range. I feel like his point per game would definitely gonna get juiced, because then with the defenses today and with Jerry West passing and playmaking, like he knew how to leverage his scoring gravity to create chances for others. Now unfortunately he only got one championship, but it wasn't like he wasn't doing his part of trying to propel them to win the championship. So that's why I would say he would definitely would be favored. I feel like he would definitely be favored in today's game. And the way I have him is at 23. I feel like he can definitely go up on my list if he played today's game. The next person I'm talking about is John Havlicek. Now, folks, I understand why folks don't give John Havlicek his due. Because folks only saw him on those Bill Russell rosters and said, "Oh, he folks try to discredit him." But what folks don't know, he became the superstar of the team in the 70s, right? Then he had a co-star. What's his name? Dave Cowens, I believe that was his name. That was the big man they picked up to be the successor of Bill Russell. He was good in his own right. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, John Havlicek, he was the man. He knew how to leverage his scoring gravity to create chances. And back then, they was running sets for him to come off screens to either shoot or make a decision off that. So yeah, so he basically was he was definitely a better version of Klay Thompson. Like if you watch the film, yeah, you can see why he would be favorite in today's era. So I had him at 24 on my list. I feel like he can definitely go up on my list, right? So we go to that and we go to David Robinson. Now, like I said in my previous video about the black athletes, this man was moving like Giannis. When I saw this film, I couldn't believe my eyes. I literally could not believe my eyes. He was getting the rebound. He was taking it down, on certain defensive sequences and stuff like that. You see him have agile feet. Bro, I'm like, dog, this is pretty crazy. And then he had mid-range jumper that was actually pretty good, but at certain moments he had the Charles Barkley syndrome, relying on it too much and not using his post game. And then he's one of the greatest rim protectors of all time. So I feel like his game turns out very well. I had him on at 26 on my list. I definitely feel like he can go up on my list pretty easily, right? Pretty easily. Next person I'm going to talk about is Dr. J. Now, I think Dr. J was rated, 27 on my list? No, 20 on my list. I had to think about this for a second because Dr. J, now, he was definitely a perennial scorer. He was definitely more than a slasher. Now, folks would try to put him in the box of saying he was a slasher, but towards the end of Julius Erving, aka Dr. J career, I feel like he definitely developed a jump shot throughout this time. But I'm just trying to see can I see him like making like major improvements if he played in today's era? Like everybody think like you go in today's era, you will average 30, 40 points. I don't think like everybody has the capability to do that. So in my opinion, I probably like I had him like going like up. Like I feel like he can go up on my list, but as I'm talking to myself, I feel like he just stays like neutral for me. Like he's a great player. Don't get me twisted. Now the era would definitely favor him, but I just feel like with the space he's going to have, I feel like he's a good shooter, but he's not a great shooter. I feel he's definitely going to rely on the jump shot too much. So I feel he will be probably around the range of a 22 to 25 point per game scorer. He could definitely like fly. He can fly out the gym. Don't get it twisted. But I don't know, man. I just like all of these guys. The era is going to favor them no matter what. But it's just certain guys I'm not sure about. And Dr. J is one of those guys. Larry Bird. Also I had Dr. J at 20. So Larry Bird, I had him number 11 on my list. I feel like he could go up on my list. So Larry Bird, Larry Bird. So Larry Bird took like what, 2-3 threes a game in his day. I feel like if he ramped that up to like 6 or 8 a game, dog, he's definitely averaging 30 points easily. Because think with Larry Bird, he was a good playmaker. Take it back. He was a great playmaker. He had a good post game. He definitely one of the best rebounders, even at his time. And then if you translate him today, he's definitely averaging a cool 8 rebounds in today's game. Like I said, and then he was one of the best shooters of his time. Now most of his jump shots came at the mid range area. Imagine if he take like I said 6 or 8 threes a game. He's definitely ramping that not 3-point percentage, but his points per game average a lot, like a lot. And then his shooting percentages from 3. Now his 3-point percentages might suffer a little bit. Now I think it was like around like what? I don't want to make nothing up. So I say around like the 33 to like 36 average or something like that. I feel like if he take more threes, it probably gonna drop a little bit lower. But I feel like his game could easily translate. I feel like he could definitely go up on my list if he played in today's game. Next person I'm gonna talk about is Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing is an interesting case. I feel like him and David Robinson, like folks like view him kind of the same. It's just the thing with Patrick Ewing though, he didn't have the moving skills of a David Robinson. So that's already gonna be detrimental in a pick and roll setting. He was like average mid-range shooter, average to good mid-range shooter. His post game was pretty good, but when he got to the postseason though, it was like no. I don't understand how it went down like this. So we have to take that into account. His playoff numbers around this time, during his time, was not good against the elite center. So we have to take that into account. Was he able to leverage his scoring gravity to create chances for others? Folks may say yes, but I'm on the side probably saying no, because like David Robinson, he had the skills to pass. Let me see, a guy like I said, Charles Barkley, he had the skills to pass. KG, I think he had the skills to pass, but it wasn't like elite level. It was good. Patrick Ewing, it's like, can you trust him to like make consistent reads, game in, game out, when the defensive coverage is like trying to get him to like make a read? I'm not sure about that. And we seen it in the playoffs that his numbers like went down. So with Patrick Ewing, I'm probably gonna say the era. I don't know, man. I'm just not sure. So I'm just gonna have to put him at the neutral. But if I had to choose, well, I'd definitely choose down. Because his numbers would be too glaring. Then you have the social media era. We seen how folks be calling Joel Embiid. Just imagine Patrick Ewing getting clowned like this on social media when he has bad performances. That would not go well. So next person I'm gonna talk about is Walt Clyde Frazier. Now, Walt Clyde Frazier, he's one of the best playmakers of his time. He's one of the greatest defenders at the guard position. Folks don't talk about him as much for some reason, because I guess since he played in the dark ages of the 70s, folks don't talk about him like that. But in these series, he's like putting up like 30 and 15, like 3 steals or something like that. Like, those are like impressive numbers. Now, thing is, The thing that's going to hurt like tall guards is like shooting ability. Now, Clyde Frazier, I don't think he had the shooting ability to like go like I can most definitely say he could go up on my list, but he definitely had the ability to like the air was gonna favor him like good. But like I said for Patrick Ewing, I'm not it's not as bad as Patrick Ewing because Clyde Frazier was a playoff performer, so he don't have to worry about that aspect. But I'm just like, is his like shooting touch is going to like improve? We'll see. Like, we all gotta give these guys grace of them like improving their jump shot at one point or at a point. But not everybody like plays in today there and will be shooting like that. No, it's not gonna be as easy as folks trying to make it out to be. So I say the neutral for Clyde Frazier. Actually, I'd probably say he'll rise on my list if he played in today's game. So next person I'm gonna talk about. Also, I had Clyde Frazier at 23. I had Patrick Ewing at 29. So next person I'm gonna talk about is Magic. I feel like he's definitely going up on my list if he played today's game. Now, the thing with Clyde Frazier, like I don't think he had the efficient like post game as a Magic Johnson, so that's gonna hurt him a little bit. And we saw in Magic Johnson's career that he became a better shooter as his career went on. So we seen the improvement clear as day that he was like improving on his jump shot. He was one of the better playmakers of the league. Now, I feel like there would probably be moments that he would probably be at the small ball 5, and then you put him at the 5, then you're supercharging your offense, and with that, and then with Magic Johnson leading these high-powered Lakers teams, just imagine if he could like go on a team in today's game with the open space he has. He could run like a 5-out or a 4-out one in that can be converted to like a 5-out, and you give Magic Johnson space to create. It would get spooky down there because now you giving Magic Johnson free reign to attack. Now he may not be as explosive, but the thing is, he make up with the lack of explosive ability with his post game, and then you at his mercy at that point. So I didn't have his teammate on the list, but I feel I had Kareem at 5. So, no, I had Magic at 5. So I must have had Kareem at 4 or 3. So I think I had Kareem at top 4 or top 6 at least. And I feel like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the era will favor him. I feel he'll be just fine in today's game because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he definitely had to act with post game to like dominate. Like we see dominant post scores like Jokic and B. We see AD go to work. We seeing guys like Giannis. Well, I wouldn't call Giannis a post player, but he can dominate in the restricted area. But yeah, that man, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would definitely be good in this area. Now, the defensive mobility aspect of it, I feel like he could definitely be a good rim protector if he played in today's game. The pick and roll coverage he may be limited in, but Kareem was definitely mobile to hold his own in certain like hard heads or blitzing coverages. So yeah. And talk about, since we stay on top of the big man, let's talk about Hakeem. I had Hakeem number 7 on my list. I feel he can go up on my list. Now, here's why. Hakeem Olajuwon, even though his time was like one of the most dominant peaks we ever saw in today's game, ever. Now, the thing is, the reason why I don't get talked about as much is because he played in the same era as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he had 2 different 3-peats. That's the thing that's going to like go over Hakeem stuff any day, all day, right? But we gotta look at it. Hakeem Olajuwon, like this era will definitely like, I'm telling you, this would probably be the GOAT if he played in today's game. Bro, he had the foot speed, he had the IQ, he had the twitchiness, right? Bro, he had the post game, he had the footwork. He was one of the best rim protectors of all time. You could say he was the greatest rim protector of all time. Dude, this era will favor him so good. Then he had a mid-range jump shot that he can go to a defense tries, sag off on his post moves. So you was at Hakeem Olajuwon mercy at that point. So yeah, I'd say he go up on my list. The next person I'm talking about is Isaiah Thomas. Now, I'm not going to front with y'all. Like him and Steph Curry, those are the only 2 guards in today's game that was like 6'2" and under that won championship. But I feel like if Isaiah Thomas played today's game, like I feel like he would be neutral on my list. Now we've seen the shorter version of Isaiah Thomas in Boston dominate. He was a top 3 to 5 MVP candidate, but you saw that it had shelf life though. So that's what I'm afraid of. Like initially, I had him like going down on my list, but the fact that the Pistons Isaiah Thomas actually had the defensive versatility to actually hold his own in certain playoff series, then if he did like decline as an athlete on offense, I feel he could still be a serviceable player in today's game easily. He could definitely give you like 18-10 a night. If you play today's game, I feel he could give you like 23 to 25-10 a night. So. Yeah, I just go neutral Isaiah Thomas, to be honest with you. The next person on the list is another tall point guard, and that is Oscar Robertson. Now, Oscar Robertson, like I said for Walt Clyde Frazier, the only things I would be worried about would be their shooting stroke. I don't think like Oscar Robertson had the reliable shooting stroke to actually like have a good 3-point shot, to be honest with you. He's like an average mid-range shooter. But the thing is, well, I wouldn't say average. I'd say good because he's averaging 30-10-10. So you can't say he's average. It really no aspect of offense, but his 3-point shooting ability just wouldn't translate. Coverages, defensive coverage will definitely get him out of his game. Now, Oscar Robertson, like I said for Magic, he have good post game. Now, the reason why I'm so hesitant to like give him like the rise on my list is because, like I said, the 3-point shooting stroke, we didn't see the changes that he made to his game. So it's like no way to actually like say he would be able to like shoot better because we haven't gotten like film that we feel comfortable about talking about, right? Now with Jerry West, when he played during this time, we saw his shooting stroke. Like we can see how his jump shot would translate in today's game. So I'd probably say Oscar Robertson, he currently on my list, he's 27. I feel like he would probably go up slightly, but not that much, right? So, next person I'm going to talk about is Allen Iverson. Like I said for Isaiah Thomas, I just feel like kind of uncomfortable with short guards in today's game. But thing is, we saw Allen Iverson, like once it was time for game days and stuff, we seen how pure his jump shot is. I feel like if he played today's game, he shoot like 5 threes a game, and he shoot them at like a 35% clip. His point per game definitely will get juice just off that, right? He was never scared of contact at all, never. His shooting ability, like I mentioned, was good. His driving ability was good. Now he might get targeted a lot on defense, but he had the aspects of like good team defense, like because we seen that he was able to play the passing lane, he was able to stunt in certain like moments. So yeah, that's why I probably rate Allen Iverson higher. John Stockton, that's next. I got John Stockton rated at 41. I feel like he would go down my list. Now, John Stockton, like he was a good 3-point shooter, don't get me wrong. I feel like he would be a great role player in today's game. And there's no disrespect because the archetypes of John Stockton in today's game, there's few and far between. Like you have to do other things other than score. Like if you say like John Stockton would average 30 points in today's game, I just feel like that would be disingenuous, to be honest with you. Like his 3-point shooting numbers would be good. I feel like he could definitely average 21 a game. I definitely feel like that. He definitely probably average like close to a double-double, but I just wouldn't trust him in playoff series. I just wouldn't because now he did run an offense that was tailor-made for him to like make the correct reads. And I'm sorry if you hear that, but it's definitely raining right now. But yeah, he definitely make the correct reads, but it's just like when you like so robotic and try to pass a lot, the defense can key in on that and just make you a scorer. Now I don't think he would be able to like score at the heights to be like efficient and come playoff time. So that's why I probably like rate him like not as good as the others, but Yeah, he definitely probably go down my list a little bit. Next person I'm talking about is Steve Nash. He definitely goes up on my list. Now, he's like the total opposite of John Stockton. We've seen Steve Nash, when he has to like get down in the playoffs, he would get down. We seen him drop a couple 30 to 40 pieces, right? He was one of the most efficient guards of all time. Not only was he just a passer, he was a great scorer. He was a great scorer. Now, if you give Steve Nash 5 to 8 threes a game, he's averaging 20. He's averaging 20 plus a game easily. I feel, because in the 2000s, which I consider the best defensive era of all time, and the stats prove it, he's averaging 18 and 10, 20 and 10. Like bro, I don't think folks understand. If we saw more aggressive Steve Nash, maybe we'd probably see the Suns in the finals at one point, but he just wasn't that aggressive, and during that time, the point guard wasn't known to be aggressive around this time. So that's why we didn't get to see the fully unlocked Steve Nash. So that's why I say he would definitely be favored today, and he would definitely go up on my list. Scottie Pippen, he'd go up on my list too. Now, how much I dislike the conversation around Scottie Pippen at times, a point forward, 6'8", 6'9", that's able to have a post game. He's able to make the correct reads. He's taking the ball down the floor, initiate offense and stuff like that. You tell me a guy like that would not be like favored in today's game? He wouldn't go up on my list. He'd definitely go up on my list for surely, And that's really all I got. And now, like I said, for like Oscar Robertson and those boys, the thing with Scottie Pippen though, he was a great defender compared to the Oscar Robertson or Magic Johnson. He was a great defender. So imagine just plugging and playing a 3-and-D, a point forward and defender, and you just plug him in the modern offense, and you just give him like free space to attack the gaps. It would be scary. Now, next two people I want to talk about, they basically the same archetype of player, and that's Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. Both of them, I say they go up on my list because now you have elite shooters in today's game able to run offense for them. Now, both of them at one point could attack they closeouts and like either drive to the lane or pull up. That would definitely be favored today in today's game because shooters, they come in pretty. That's why we see like teams overpay for like shooters, like 3 and no D players. But it had to stop at a certain point. And it has the last couple years, but I'm telling you, like a couple years ago, folks would really overpay for these type players. Clyde Drexler, I say he go up on my list, but slightly because it's like he had the athletic ability to get into the lanes and dunk on folks when necessary. His shooting touch was good. I feel like if he worked on it, he would definitely be a good to great 3-point shooter. If you give him like 4-5 games, I feel he can average around like 34 to 36% from 3. But yeah, and then like I said, and then his passing, I feel like his passing would also get better with time in today's game. But yeah, but he just wasn't the defender. And I just, like, that's what got me caused to pause a little bit. But he just wasn't the defender to, like, I feel comfortable with him, like going way up on my list. But, yeah, the next person I'm going to talk about is Kevin McHale. I feel like he'll definitely go down on my list because a 4-man that can, like, really only post up, like, he give you the mid-range jumper. Now, as I'm thinking about it, I don't think he'll be able to run the 4. Now, if he runs the 5, now in fact, I changed my whole stance on Kevin McHale. I feel he'd go up on my list because if he plays the 5, right, now he could be like a Sengun type archetype. But the thing is with Sengun, he's not able to play defense because of his athletic limitations. I feel like Kevin McHale kind of the same way, but he's not as bad, right? But if you put Kevin McHale at the 5 and let him like go and work in the post and you just run split cuts off him, now I can see his value in today's game. He just have to be the 5 though. Like he cannot be the 4 like a Charles Barkley or something and you be successful. No, he has to be the primary 5. Now, was he a good rebounder? Yes. That's why I feel like he would be better at the 5 than the 4. The last person I'm going to talk about, and that's how we're going to end the video, and that's going to be George Gervin. Now, George Gervin, we see like inspirations, like for example, KD said George Gervin is his inspiration, right? We see why. They both like long pause. They both have the athletic ability at one point. KD, of course, he's the better shooter between the two. But if you give George Gervin the ample amount of time to work on his jump shot, I feel like his 3-point numbers, his 3-point percentage probably be capped at like a 33%, to be honest with you. But if he continues working that mid-range jump shot, yeah, we'll see some like scary stuff from like George Gervin. I feel like his points per game average will definitely be around like 25 a game, 25, 26 a game. So yeah, that's an interesting video. I really want to do this with role players, and I probably will do it with role players coming up. So yeah, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. This is your boy Trail, and I'm out.